In this video, I'll show you how to authenticate users in the Strapi headless CMS via the REST API. To demonstrate, I'll be using the VS Code REST client extension, but you can use Postman, Curl, and any other tool you want. So I'll go ahead and create a file here, API calls.rest, then add some code here, like a comment. So save that. Now, first of all, let me show you how. So you can see here that the Strapi we have does not have users in the user collection content type. Even if I refresh, we have 0 users. Now, to register a user, you need to use a post method and specify your domain. For me, it's localhost 13337, then /API/auth/local/register. Then you may specify the content type. Then we shall provide a payload. In the payload, we are supposed to have the email, me@davidovg.com. You also have to specify the username. If you don't specify the email and the username, you'll get errors. So I'll say my username and finally the password, which I'll write as test password. After that, you can now click send here, and you're getting an error of 405 saying method not allowed. So this means there's a mistake. Yes, there's a mistake in our endpoint. Shouldn't have this. So in other words, your domain /API/auth/local register is the right endpoint. Click, and we are getting a bad request at this time, and the bad request is telling us that the username is required. So yes, still there's a mistake in the content type, so it has to be application JSON, and then send. Now okay, and you can see that it has returned the JWT JSON Web Token, the user ID, the username, email, provider is local because we are authenticating via the local provider, but you can use Gmail, GitHub, and other providers. Yeah, you can see that. Now, to confirm that if you don't provide the email, things won't work, you can remove the email from the payload. I send the request, I get a bad request here. And if I scroll down, you can see email is required. So we can't use it. We can't leave out the email. How about the username? Save. And still the username is required. So if I leave, I'll bring back the username. This time, because the user is registered, we are supposed to have another error. And you can see, but the request email or username are already taken, and the status is 400. Even here the HTTP status is 400. Now let's demonstrate how you can log in a user. Oh, before that, let's go to the browser and see if the user is registered. Yeah, here's the user that registered, and if you register the user via the API, automatically the user is marked as confirmed. But if you don't want that to happen, you can go here in the settings. Yeah, the settings here. Then you can go in advanced settings. There are settings you can change here. You see, you can change. You can enable email confirmation. You can remove this, whatever you want. When you change things, then you may change how the user is marked as authenticated and confirmed. Alright, I'll first go back to users here. Okay, now let's go back to VS Code. And this time we want to try the login. Login user using username. Then I'll duplicate this and say using email. Then I'll go ahead and copy this, paste it over here. Here we can remove the email and we can change this to identifier. That's the payload that's needed for logging in or authenticating the user in. But also, since you are not registering, you remove register from the endpoint. and can log in now. You see the status is okay. You can see here that we have user data. If we provide the wrong password, you can see if I send a request to the error, the request status is bad request 400, and down here you can see validation error, invalid identifier or password. Now let's test when to log in with the email. So to log in with the email, just change the value of the identifier to the email. So this is the email over here. Copy, go ahead and paste, save, and then we can log in. And you can see that this one has also logged us in. It has provided a JWT JSON Web Token, which you can now use to access authenticated content. So in the next video, we shall look at how to make private content and access it only when we've been authenticated.